So it seems like you're always addressing some really deep, profound topics. How you choose your topic?
It's, I care about so many different things. I care about uniting men and women, I care about uniting humanity. And so to answer your question, how do I choose a topic? I'm not really sure exactly how I choose it. It's more that it's whatever speaks to me on a heart level. So, I mean, when I start to co-create something with the people that I work with or with anybody that I'm collaborating with, I look at what it is that I stand for first and foremost. And my stand, who I am, is I stand for compassion, dignity, and equity for myself and all others. And so anytime I see that those things are not being created in a system, and they're not, and everyone is not experiencing those things, then a fire lights inside me. And I say, okay, well, how can we ensure that compassion, dignity, and equity is being created for all people in all of these systems that may or may not be working? So, when it comes to homelessness and poverty and mental health and addiction, we see a lot of those same biases going on with people not having access to effective care. And it's perpetuating these stigmas that are going along, because it's when we're not getting effective care for the things that we need, especially mental health, for just an example, we're having to deal with these things on our own and not having any support system in place to know how we can manage what we're dealing with. And so we start to get wrapped up in the stigmas that are being pushed by many media outlets. I mean, there's narratives that go around constantly, unfortunately, about how we should view ourselves and think about ourselves if we're dealing with a mental health challenge or mental health issue. And so it's difficult to understand, well, where do we go for the support? And even looking at movies and television shows and things like that, even though I think we've progressed in the area of moving away from biases and moving away from stigma, we've definitely made some progress in that area. We're still not quite there. And, even activism in itself is still coming from a place of quite a divisive narrative, quite an us versus them narrative. So even when we look at being activists for mental health, for homelessness and poverty, for justice reform, for prison reform, for men and women, for addiction, whatever we're being advocates for, we also have to really look inside of ourselves and saying, like, when we're designing our projects and designing what we're working on, where are we coming from? Are we coming from a divisive narrative in our heart? Because as humans, we sort of have that's already there. And we have to really look at how do we move from that space into a heart space, which is about, like, what do we really stand for humanity? And once we get really clear with that, then we can create what we're doing. We can design it in a certain way where that's the foundation. So everything that I work on and how I choose what I work on, to answer your question, is that if I see compassion, dignity, and equity missing in something, that's when I know that's what I want to work on.
Thank you for listening to Legacy Leader Show. If you enjoyed the content and had a positive experience, then please leave us a positive rating. In addition, leave us a positive review whenever you are listening on whatever platform there might be. Make sure your friends and family also know about the benefit and value that we provide and what we have to offer. Cheers.